According to the new and yet ever regressing YouTube community guidelines, if you want to watch a video about the gospel of Jesus Christ, or if you want an answer to a question about Christian theology, you need to be at least 18 years old. Earlier this year, YouTube removed one of the videos of David Wood about the persecution of Christians in various countries. All he did in that video was to report the latest statistics with the countries having the highest rates of persecution against Christians. YouTube removed the videos as hate speech. 3 separate YouTube reviewers all declared his videos reporting on the persecution of Christians was hate speech. His appeals were rejected and he was banned from posting for a while. Fortunately, a number of people complained to YouTube on Twitter and the video was ultimately restored. Apparently, the YouTube Trust and Safety team is concerned about people drawing attention to the persecution of Christians. They were even more concerned about people knowing where YouTube is heading with its policies, so my video was restored. More recently, however, YouTube began adding age restrictions to Christian videos, even Christian videos that simply answer questions about basic Christian theology. For instance, yesterday he received a message saying, "Hi Acts 17 Apologetics, as you may know, our community guidelines describe which contents we allow and do not allow on YouTube. Your video on how can God die was flagged to us for review. Upon review, we have determined that it may not be suitable for all viewers and it has been placed behind an age restriction. So now, if you're not registered with an adult YouTube account and you click on the video, you will see this notice. Sign in to confirm your age. This video may be inappropriate for some users and you can see the notice age restricted video based on community guidelines. That video, of course, is a response to a common Muslim objection. Christians claim that Jesus is God. Christians claim also that Jesus died for sins, but that would mean that God died. How could God die? The answer, according to Christian theology, is that Jesus has 2 natures, a divine nature and a human nature. If you tell Muslims that, many of them will insist that it is absurd and illogical to claim something divine can take on a physical nature. That's why in my video I point out that Muslims believe something similar about the Quran. According to Islamic theology, the Quran is Allah's eternal speech. It has no beginning, it cannot be corrupted, it cannot be destroyed. But here, in our physical world, Allah's speech takes on a physical form, made of paper and glue and ink. And the physical book does have a beginning. It can be corrupted, it can be destroyed. Notice, if you were to destroy a physical Quran, you wouldn't say the eternal speech of Allah has been destroyed. Likewise, if the God-man, Jesus Christ, died on the cross, you wouldn't say that God has therefore been destroyed. The takeaway message is that if Muslims want to claim that God didn't enter creation as Jesus of Nazareth, they can claim that and present their evidence. But if they claim that somehow it is impossible or illogical or contradictory for God to enter creation as Jesus of Nazareth, they just condemn their own theology of the Quran, because a similar objection would apply. Why, in the name of common sense, would YouTube add an age restriction to such a simple point? Can you think of anyone who wouldn't want young people with questions about Christianity finding answers to their questions on YouTube? Can you think of anyone who would contact YouTube saying, young people shouldn't be seeing Christians answering their questions about the gospel? I can. The disturbing part is that every year, year after year, the trust and safety team of YouTube and Facebook and Twitter become more and more incensed on controlling what we can say and who can hear what we say, and bringing the rules more in line with their favourite ideologies. And a gradual shift always moves in one direction, but it's slow and relentless. It comes to the point that YouTube is now age restricting the gospel. If you're over 18 years old, congratulations, you are still free. Free for now to hear someone respond to objections to the gospel on YouTube. So, while you have this freedom, be sure to check out the video, How Can God Die? It's a response to one of the top 3 most common objections to Christianity you will ever hear from Muslims. So why don't you take a few minutes and prepare a simple response to a question that's going to come up over and over and over again. As Louis Pasteur once said, fortune favours the prepared mind. Also, to find further answers to questions on Christianity, obtain my book, Converted on LSD Trip, telling the story of how I became a Christian, available for Amazon.co.uk and Amazon.com.